Hello everyone, this is our convincing practice assignment video and we are from tutorial group 3.1. My name is Mandy and along with me are Edwin, Yinghui, Kelvin and Vincent. In question 2 of the assignment question, we know that Mr. and Mrs. New want to purchase a parcel in Greenwood Resorts. However, they are from Brunei and are unclear as to what to do. Therefore, in this video, we are going to advise them on the procedures involved in this subsale. Based on the facts, Greenwood developer Syndram Berhart has built apartments at the Greenwood Resort. However, title of the property is still held under a master title registered in someone else's name. In February 2015, Mr. and Mrs. Happy have bought a parcel unit from the Greenwood developer at a price of 550,000 ringgit. Later, in August 2017, they wish to resell the parcel to Mr. and Mrs. New at a price of 1.2 million ringgit. What is important to note here is that both Mr. and Mrs. New are from Brunei. If the new couple has engaged a solicitor for the transaction, then the solicitor will be the purchaser's solicitor, and she is responsible to advise the news as foreign purchasers. According to the EPU guideline, generally foreigner is only allowed to purchase property above 1 million ringgit. But specifically for the Malacca state, its guideline states that in the case of strata title property, the minimum purchase price is 500,000 ringgit. Therefore, in buying the property at 1.2 million ringgit, the condition has been fulfilled by Mr. and Mrs. New. Also, the purchaser solicitor must advise that the property is not Bumiputra lot. By virtue of National Land Code, the new couple as the foreign purchasers must obtain the consent from the state government prior to any dealings. After checking with the preliminaries, the purchaser solicitor is also responsible to undergo the necessary searches, such as passport search on the new couple to ensure their identification, and also IC search and bankruptcy search on the happy couple as vendor to ensure they are legally capable to dispose property. It is also required to do a company and winding up searches on the developer. In addition, a master title search on the property has to be done as well.
Now, having done all this, it is time for the vendor solicitor to be present. The purchaser solicitor will provide particulars for Mr. and Mrs. New for the vendor solicitor to draft a sales and purchase agreement. Also, the purchaser solicitor will request the vendor solicitor to deliver a written notice to the developer and the registered proprietor regarding on the subsale, as this is required under Section 22D of the Housing Development Act. And next on to the drafting of the papers. Upon getting sufficient information, the vendor solicitor will begin drafting the SPA between the vendor and purchaser. He will then send a draft to the purchaser solicitor. And then the purchaser solicitor will read through the draft and also prepare a draft of the deed of assignment, a DOA. She will also then send both the approved SPA and the draft DOA to the vendor solicitor. And similarly, the vendor solicitor will also vet and approve the DOA and then send both the approved DOA and 5 copies of the finalized SPA to purchaser solicitor for execution. Next, to the executing of the documents. Upon receiving the documents, the purchaser solicitor then invites Mr. and Mrs. New to execute the finalized SPA, the approved DOA, and in the presence of the purchaser solicitor, the new couple will also sign the documents. Additionally, 10% of deposit and other fees will also be paid to the purchaser solicitor. Moving on, the purchaser solicitor will also then forward the executed documents to the vendor solicitor. along with the 10% deposit paid by Mr. and Mrs. New. Subsequently, the vendor solicitor will contact his clients, Mr. and Mrs. Happy, to sign both SPA and the DOA. Upon receipt of the 10% of the deposit payment, the happy couple will then sign the SPA and the DOA. And finally, to the completion of sale, the vendor solicitor will then forward the executed SPA and DOA back to the purchaser solicitor. He will then adjudicate and stamp the SPA at the land office. He will also retain a copy of the SPA himself. He will send a copy to the vendor solicitor, sends the original, and extra one copy to her clients, Mr. and Mrs. New. For now, the sub-sale procedure has been completed, and in the next video, we will explore on the procedures involved in obtaining loan for the purchaser.